And it's like we had talked about, like there is an element of magic to it.
Yeah, there's definitely, and there's no element of magic to basketball. Like if
there's an element
Steph
of
Curry,
genetics, timing, being at the right time, right, being around the right people, being in the right neighborhood where there was a court that was accessible to you to go play.
I mean, but now
right family, I think that's those are all variables.
No, I don't think so, because it's like there's Steph Curry and there's Allen Iverson. Couldn't be two different genetic makeups. Couldn't be two more different financial backgrounds. And I think what Steph Curry has proven is that he's taken all of the magic out of it.
I'm not mad.
Your dad's a boy. Your dad. I think Steph Curry is extremely brilliant. I think he's killing basketball. The ratings show that it's not fun to watch.
He's like the Floyd Mayweather.
It's fun, like being someone on Twitch is like better. It's more fun to watch people play NBA 2K on Twitch
than to watch
Steph Curry.
That's funny.
I mean, it started with Tim Duncan, somebody I respect very much, you know. But what's been great about the Spurs is watching Greg Popovich develop talent. To see him make Kawhi Leonard into a star. And that's a great producer. There's magic there.
I think there are people that do that can do that. Like, you may not be Drake and you may not be the biggest rock star in the world, but I feel like when you put in the work, you're creative, you have self-awareness, you understand the marketplace, you can work your way up to be a sixth man on the bench. And you're not the star, and nobody is going to buy your jersey necessarily, but you're going to make a comfortable living, and you might come off the bench one day and be Jeremy Lin. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's possible, you know, and that's I think I'm on a quest to discover that. Like, what are those variables, you know?
I mean, like, you can have like a Greg Popovich, like you look at someone like Puffy. Like, there's a difference. The difference between Puffy and Dre is Dre finds stars. Dre is like Phil Jackson. You won't catch him playing the game unless he has one of the greatest of all time in his corner. Snoop, Corrupt, Eminem, 50 Cent, Anderson .Paak, Kendrick Lamar. Puffy will take Black Rob, Shine, G-Dep, Greg Mack, and make them stars. And don't even talk about his R&B game. Totally. Carl Thomas. Like Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, like it's two different kind of, you know. There's Phil Jackson and there's Pops. To me, Pop has more magic. Puff has more magic. Dre is very methodical, precise, and he can see talent. And if he doesn't see you selling 1 billion records and being one of the greatest of all time, he won't even spit on you. You know, so it's like trying to find out who you are and getting up under someone that works, you know what I mean? But if you're going for longevity, obviously Puffy's not the person, because no one ever gets a second record. You know?
So what was the biggest challenge for you being so multifaceted in multiple groups, multiple collaboration efforts, you know, from your record with Ninth Wonder to the Living Legends, and then still maintaining and being an artist, being merged, the artist that again is still multifaceted? Like, what challenges and what benefits are there to that?
Well, the benefits, I don't feel like I'm artistic enough. I'm not being creative enough. The benefits are you know, you're building a network of people. You're building a large body of work, you know, which is confusing to some people. But which is something to be said. And maybe, like, you know, as we talk and this uncover, like, if streaming is the new way, then having a vast catalog, I just relicense my catalog. None of my music was on streaming services. 316 in the beginning, for real, good music. Nothing I had done outside of like 3 or 4 albums was available for streaming. And
wow, okay, I never knew that.
I just did a deal where I can get that out to everybody. I think that having a lot of content wins now, because if you have 100 fans, they're gonna play your songs all the time. And the more you give them, the more there is to stream. And the more odds are you popping up on someone Pandora station. And then from someone like me who's worked with everyone, which I hate, like the Apple algorithm is all fucked up, because if you put Immerse Radio on, it's only going to play strange music or atmosphere, which is crazy, because like I'm like Kevin Bacon of rap. Like,
you really, you have worked with everybody.
Like Bad Brains to Snoop Dogg. Like I have like.
So the thing that I'm learning about streaming, this is what they're coming out and saying, and they're just saying streaming, even though the money is not there, in comparison to sales, right? But the value with streaming is that streaming is about having replayable music, right? So whereas pop music is usually like it's replayed to you until you like it, streaming you have to choose to replay a record. And they're saying that actually gives creative music, independent music an advantage because it usually ends up having more replay value. Like quality independent creative music has more replay value than mainstream pop music, which is very like
I don't think that's true
formulaic and
because you can look
repetitive.
at. Are you telling me that Lil Yachty is quality?
No.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, to some people.
no, it's not quality to anyone.
No, I think some
No,
people
still know that there's a difference between Anderson .Paak and Lil Yachty.
Sure.
There's a difference between McDonald's and a home cooked meal.
Sure.
People like good.
Sure.
McDonald's is good to some people. Taco Bell is good, but they know everybody knows what a home cooked meal is.
Okay, that's
and I think audibly like people know. So I don't think it's.
But I think but I do think that like melodically, I'm not a Lil Yachty fan, but I'm saying melodically he may be doing some interesting things. And what I'm saying is I think a Anderson .Paak is still doing very well on streaming. You know, like I think these guys like Chance 300 million streams first week. Drake did a billion streams first week. Right. So they're not too off. Right.
But those are pop music.
Sure. I mean, we could say Chance is pop now.
Chance has been pop. He's been making pop music from the start. He hasn't been popular, but he's been trying to make pop music.
I think he's one step further pop than Anderson .Paak.
Anderson has been making music that sounds like nobody else.
But what I'm saying is aesthetically, it's very similar. Like format-wise, it's similar. The vocal inflections, how they're using their voices, it's similar. I think Chance is more commercial. I agree. I think he's more pop.
What I'm saying, I think that they are. I don't think that there's an advent of people creative music blowing up because of streaming. The powers that be still control.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that we still came out and like the Dream Junkies Good Religion record, which we didn't put a ton of money behind, still came out as well over 1 million streams, well over, not counting YouTube, and YouTube is probably like 500,000 streams, and like. And again, does that mean 50,000 people listen to it 20 times, 10,000 people listen to it?
Right, but what I'm saying is like
we've never seen numbers like that. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that streaming made you guys more popular. If we take streaming away, you guys would have just been selling more records because you're growing.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Probably.
It's just people are growing.
Probably.
And I mean, I think the advent of Napster really helped us because that was really like. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about streaming. It wasn't easy. It was like you had to put in a name, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But that was that leveled the playing field because we couldn't get our records in stores to save our life.
Right. But I'm saying, don't you feel like streaming has done the same thing now?
But streaming, but it was already done with Napster. Like to me, Napster was the change. Streaming just refined Napster. It's just a new Napster.
Yeah, for sure.
But so it's nothing's changed. So now it's just a part of the game. Like you guys, like I said, whether people have found it on Napster, you guys are just doing the work and making the quality music.
Yes.
Your career is on the rise.
Yes.
It's not streaming is not helping anyone. It's not changing the game. It's not changing the quality of music. All it is doing is making more music. It's broadening things.
Yes. People have
everyone.
I feel like people have a wider palette. They have more options. They're consuming more music than ever.
Yeah,
which I'm not mad at
because they're not paying for it.
Because they're paying very little for it. So then the question becomes, for you, like, are you okay if Murs, the main thing that Murs is known for, isn't his music? Is that something you're okay with? Murs is a personality. It's a brand. It's a, you know what I mean? It's something that's bigger than just music. And you do music and you go get music money, music checks. But Murs is something. It's more of a personality, right? Is that something you're okay with?
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think that it's been my goal from the beginning.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like LL Cool J and Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Right.
I think somewhere along the line, people started taking rap way too seriously. Like Jay-Z never really branched out.
Yeah.
Like he was focused on it. Kendrick is really focused on rapping.
Yeah. Would that be your advice?
What?
Because to me that's a no-brainer. Like I think the one of the reasons why you have so much longevity in the game is that you've done different things to diversify, right? Multiple streams. And I think if I'm a new artist, like I think I have to be at least aware of what's going on and the explosion that's happening on YouTube and the explosion that's happening on Facebook and videos and streaming. You know what I mean? Like live Facebook videos, Periscope, right? And being more than like, unless you're just genius level talent and you're a Kendrick, you know what I mean? Like, I think we have to be mindful of all the tools and the resources that are available to the next generation that's here. You know what I mean? Like the new artists. Like, I think that's how I would approach it, is like, you got to be more than just a rapper.
I mean, I guess it depends, man. It really depends. Like, James Harden plays offense. You know, like, go back to the basketball analogy. It just depends. Like, are you an entertainer or are you a rapper? Are you a musician or are you an entertainer? You know,
self-awareness.
Yeah, and it's not even what you are. What do you want to be? Like, for me, I always wanted to be an A&R. Like, I wanted to be an A&R before I was a rapper. Those skills have been applied to how did I find Ninth Wonder? Because because a friend recommended, but I'm always open to what's new and what's hot. How did I think signing to Def Jux was a good idea? Because I'm just putting myself in the position as a rapping A&R, basically. But I tried to back away, and people kept pushing me to rap.
Right.
And that's how I became where I am. So now I do have a point where when people like, it is a bit off-putting to me when people ask me, like, when's the next paid dues? I'm like, I don't give a like, I just ask me when I'll be like, well, why don't you ask me when my album's coming out? Or people be like, oh, that's the guy that throw paid dues. And I was like, well, I've sold way more albums than I have concert tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people, but it's like, my career, like, for people who, like, you try to diversify, like, my career is such a fucking mess. You know, like, I can post, majority of my fans are Atmosphere fans or Strange Music fans or Aesop Rock fans or LP fans. None of them are Merch fans, unless they're a Chicano, male or female, from California.
Right.
I don't even say Chicano, like a person of color from California.
Right.